Hello, we're at SMTConnect 2023 Nuremberg. I'm joined by Peter from Cambridge GaN Devices. Thanks for coming over. First time we've spoken. Just give me a brief overview of what Cambridge GaN is all about.
Okay, well we were established in 2016 and spin out from Cambridge University. Our two founders are made up of Georgia Longobardi. She did her PhD at Cambridge, right. And Florin Udrea, who's a professor at Cambridge University. So they set the company up in 2016, and then from 2016 to 2020, really, we were kind of building ideas, refining what we felt the GaN industry needed, yeah. And then from really that point until 22, we were designing our first parts. Released our first parts at APEC 22, and those are now available on DigiKey, and we're addressing the need with GaN devices for real ease of use.
Right.
So our devices offer something really unique, and we're launching a new version, what we call H2 version of our iScan product. At APEC 23, and our new H2 versions are really targeted at lower power applications, right. Applications yeah. which require a kind of ultimate no load power consumption.
Yeah. There's some of the success story coming out of academia into the commercial sector.
I think so.
With the product that is now capturing the zeitgeist. You know, it's one of those things where, talking around in the industry and other interviews we've done, people get it and they want to get on board with it now, don't they?
Yeah, I think, certainly GaN is much more, recognised now, more established. I think people are less afraid of it. We're just opposite one of the presentation areas, and whenever people at that presentation area are presenting GaN topics, wide bandgap devices and GaN, you can just see the size of the audience.
Right.
It's really, there's a lot of interest.
Yeah.
And we are, of course, building upon that. We were, I guess, a little bit late. We were releasing our first devices in 22.
Right.
A number of people had come before us and already have GaN devices out there.
Yep.
But it's made it a little easier for us. We've not had to deal with that fast train moving and trying to jump on board. And we're offering something, I think, a little different, right. in terms of making the entry point into GaN so much easier.
Right.
So our devices are ultimately really easy to use, and it's much easier for potential customers to get GaN into their existing products and get the benefits of GaN.
What has been the biggest block for customers? Is it literally that acceptance that it can do that, or is it that they don't know the capabilities of it?
I think it's probably a bit of both. I think given where we are at the moment, though, the capabilities of GaN are much better known. If we're having this conversation five years ago, it'd be very, very different. 10 years ago, it'd be hugely different. Really, it'd be a bit of an unknown. Of course, silicon carbide has paved the way to some extent as well. So there's real acceptance of wide bandgap devices in kind of high volume applications, high profile applications, and GaN kind of builds upon that in certain areas. And then on the first point, I think there is a perceived difficulty with GaN controlling it, and making sure it does what you want it to do. So, some of the thresholds involved are very, very low, and therefore its sensitivity to switching, maybe when you don't want it to, are certainly there, and that's what we're addressing with our devices. Yeah. So all of our devices are go by the brand name iScan, so integrated circuit enhancement mode GaN. And the integrated circuit part is all about dealing with some of these long-standing issues with GaN.
Yeah. So it's reassurance then as well for customers, isn't it?
Yeah.
What kind of response are you getting? At trade shows like this.
Really, really positive. Yeah. Like anybody here, the first day was a little quieter. It took a bit of time to get going. Yesterday was hugely popular. It can be a little deceptive, as I mentioned earlier. We're just opposite a presentation area, and that gets a lot of people, particularly if they're talking about wide bandgap devices. And a number of times I've felt that our area is, incredibly popular, and I realise actually they're there just for the presentation. But generally, we've seen a lot of interest, and I think the kind of interest, the kind of people we're having calling in and asking about our devices, much more likely to turn into a real product.
And is it like you say with the adoption now becoming much more mainstream? Is it still a case there's sort of hand-holding to do with those customers through their, development process and design process?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the standard approach, right? I'm responsible for the applications group, and that's part of our role, really, to make sure customers, potential customers, development partners know how to get the best out of our devices. I think our devices are really easy to use, though. I think there's less hand-holding needed.
Right.
But certainly we are there to help it, really understand some of the fundamentals and really get the absolute best out of our devices.
And does their experiences feed back into the R&D cycle, I guess?
That is really a key point for us. Yeah, because we consider ourselves now a scale-up. So we've just gone through the startup phase, but we're still quite an intimate group of really clever engineers, and we're working really closely together. So my group, the applications team, work really closely with the design team, the device design team, very closely with business development, with customers, and we're really proud of the fact that we are really listening to what customers want, and we're also able to move really quickly on what they, issues that they've got, or just features that they don't have but they want to have, and we're able to very much deal with that.
That speed of response is important.
Yes, I mean, we could be even quicker, but it's certainly something that we're able to respond to. I think reasonably quickly. We're really pleased with the kind of feedback we're getting from customers on areas of our devices where they'd like to see current features tweaked a little bit and enhanced, and also new features which they want to have it integrated, and those can very quickly go into our device roadmap.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad the show's been successful for you. I hope the last half, the last days as well. Thanks for speaking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Over. Thank you.
Okay, cheers.